Very simple. So I'm making this video because a lot of people always ask me how you got into door to door. What did you do to get into door to door? Or how was your mindset when you first got into door to door? So, and I get tired of explaining my full story. So I'm just gonna like basically break down my story so anybody that watches, you guys know exactly where I was in life and how my mindset was to where I am now and how I got to the point that I'm at right now. Long story short, when I was in high school, my dreams were to go to law school and become a lawyer and follow the footsteps of my uncle. And that was always the original plan. I didn't have a plan B. Then I ended up going to school for about 2 semesters. I was already with my wife now, and then came to find out that she was pregnant, right? So, me being the man that I am, I wanted to stop going to school to be able to provide for my family. They offered me to pay my school just so I can keep going and continue the plan that I had. But I said no. As a man, I wanted to kind of just stop going to school, get a job, and just start working, whatever job. So I ended up getting a job, which was kind of the same scope of work, which was like construction work, refinery work, whatever you want to call it, here locally based. Honestly, the hourly pay was very shitty, and the hours that I was putting was pretty bad. I was pretty miserable for a long time. I would get home and didn't even like want to talk to my wife. I didn't have the energy to spend with my daughter. It brought me down a lot, but I didn't give up because I knew that even if I was making like a little bit of money, like it felt good providing for my family. So I stayed in that job, and it was just a bunch of like bumping heads. And I kind of got to a point where I just wanted to get out of there, start like a brand new industry, and just kind of become good at it and see where it took me, right? At this point, um, going back to school and finishing law school really wasn't in the plan anymore, just because my main focus was to be there for my daughter and my wife. So one day, my wife and I, we were like on Google trying to search up jobs and my wife was the one that actually saw an advertisement that said something marketing, not going to remember the company name, and it said $1,500 a week, Monday through Friday. So at that time, I was working Monday through Sunday, getting paid hourly wage, and I was working like between 60 to 70 hours weekly for, I don't know, maybe like a $600 to $700 paycheck weekly, which is still alright, but for the hours that I was putting, not good at all. I ended up meeting the guy who was going to interview me. We met one day super late at a parking lot before, because I couldn't even wait for the interview because I was just so anxious to start already and start making money. So we started talking, and he started telling me that it's a door-to-door job and it sells. If you don't make any sales, you don't get paid. It wasn't hourly, it wasn't salary, anything like that. So at that time, I'm like, shit, like I don't think I can afford this because I have a daughter who depends on me, and we already had a car, so I already had a monthly payment. Just like a lot of people right now, they're afraid to make the jump into this kind of industry because they have bills, they have responsibility, they have kids, they got whatever they got going on in their life, and that's why a lot of people are not willing to make that jump, right? So, and the same thing happened to me. I had already quit my other job, and at the time I was just like 100% in that I wanted to do something different. I said, F it, let me try it out and let's see what happens. So I started this job. It was a door-to-door job. I'm not going to name the company, but it was for the energy business. My job was to go door to door and basically switch them from their provider to the provider that I was representing at the time. For having no experience, it was all right. You did have to put in the work and sales to be able to clear a $1,000 check, and obviously you had to double that to clear a $2,000 check weekly. I trained Monday through Wednesday, and I told my manager at the time, like, yo, like, give me my iPad, I want to go out to the field by myself already. He said, nah, just take the week, Thursday and Friday. I said, nah, I don't want to wait, just give it to me. Thursday, Friday, I ended up putting 5 deals between 2 days, right? And when that happened, man, I was pretty happy, I was pretty excited. I had made around like about 750 in just 2 days worth of work. And when that happened, I was like, yo, like this job actually has potential. I can actually make a good amount of money here. If I made $700 in 2 days, when I was making around $700 in 5 days worth of work, it was something badass, right? So from there, I kept knocking doors. I stayed with that company. At the time, we didn't have a team manager, so our office manager basically put some requirements because he was looking to have a team manager. And let me remind you, there was already a lot of people with experience there. They had been there for 2 years, 5 years. One was there for 10 years. So there was a lot of people with experience. I was coming in with zero experience. It was just me, my hustle, and the mindset that I had. And once I was all in, I just said, yo, whatever I got to do to make it happen and to grow is what I'm going to do. So I was grinding it out for about 3 months straight, Monday through Saturday, just pushing myself to the limit, making money. Now, let me remind you throughout this time, because a lot of people, they make this job sound super easy, but you're still going to have your rough days. You're going to have days that you want to quit. You're going to have a bad day where you don't make a single sale. But it's not even about that. It's about how you come back the next day and how you decide to bounce back. Because a lot of people, when they have one bad day, they're like, nah, this job's not for me, or nah, I'd rather have like a secure paying job. And fuck that, you know, like come back the next day and be like, yo, like I gotta fucking double down and do double the sales today and make your money, you know, make up for the day that you lost. So anyway, grinding it out, and I finally get the word that I'm gonna become a team manager. So in 3 months in this industry with no experience at all, I excelled pretty good and I became a team manager. So once I got that manager position, I was pretty stoked. I was happy, you know. I was like, damn, like I can actually see myself doing this shit long term. I was super loyal and dialed in with my office manager at the time, and I never planned on going anywhere. And my job, like, I wanted to grow with him, but we just started bumping heads and started having a lot of issues where I didn't feel respected, while I felt that I was being super loyal. So I ended up getting an energy contract with another company, which at the time was pretty big for me because I was like, yo, I just went from no experience to becoming a team manager. Somebody offered me an energy contract, so I decided to take that leap, risk everything. I went there and I was doing that for like about another 2 3 months. I was introduced into the water industry from somebody very special who just recently passed away. He's the guy that brought me into the water industry. He's the guy that gave me like a brief like introduction into the water industry. What I mean by water industry, it's water treatment services, basically putting a water system in people's homes so they can have clean water. I ended up partnering up with another water company, which my plan was to grow with. And I thought we had a pretty badass relationship, but then again, I started getting disrespected. So that's whenever I decided to leave, and I just told my wife that, yo, like if at this point, like I've already worked with different kinds of people, they're all the same, so why not just start my own? I had the opportunity to start my own business, and I did. Very thankful, very proud. Then the solar industry came into the picture, by some random ass guy. I never thought about doing solar up until I went to a meeting and I kind of realized, like, damn, bro, like there's way more money to be made in this industry. Like this whole time I'm thinking like door to door, like, yo, I'm already making money. But then when you keep hearing like more opportunities of how much more money you can make, it's like, fuck, like why the fuck would I not do it, right? So I stopped doing my water systems for a bit. I go all in with the solar industry. Right away, I noticed like the difference on the income. Like, it was a huge change. I was doing that for a while, for a long time. Then I started involving, getting into the home improvement services, right? Basically doing fence jobs, roofings, concrete slabs, what else? Interior remodeling, exterior remodeling. We started doing little jobs here and there. And then towards the end of last year was when we decided to rebrand, just so we can have like a business name that sounded general to a lot of things, because we used to be Pro Energy Solutions, which only sounded like a solar panel company. So from there, we just decided to rebrand, and starting this year, 2023, we've been rocking it out. We've been, repping the company name. Thankfully, we've been having a great year. We're getting into home improvements a lot, setting a lot of water systems. So this is exactly like my story. This is exactly how I got into this door-to-door career. It's not always about the hourly paying job. It's not about the salary paying job. We're brought up to go to school, graduate, get a career, and just stay like that until we retire, right? But a lot of people don't know the opportunities that are really out there because they're not willing to take that risk. Like I became fucking good at this job. It wasn't given to me. I wasn't naturally talented at this shit. It was just about the hard work that I was able to put in, that I was willing to put in. That's really what it is. This is my story. And I hope that anybody that watches this, maybe you guys can get inspired to trying something new, getting out of your comfort zone. And like I said, next video, I'm going to go ahead and talk about why this door-to-door job can be a great opportunity for you guys. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.